The old man suddenly realized the horse being auctioned might be a steed of 1,000 miles. He boldly bid £1, but unexpectedly his arch-rival also fancied this horse. Thus both began fiercely outbidding each other, and the more they bid the more excited they got. The old man gritted his teeth and shouted a high bid of £30. His rival smirked unkindly, believing the horse was worth no more than £10 at most. The old man also regretted it after winning the bid. He originally wanted to buy a horse for plowing, but ended up with this pampered steed of 1,000 miles. Yet the old man could never have dreamed the legendary tale of this horse had just begun. Upon returning home, his wife, learning the horse couldn't plow, firmly told him to return it to the auction, but their son refused to send it back. He saw something special in this horse and wanted to keep and train it. At the father and son's pleading, she reluctantly agreed to keep the horse temporarily, but only gave her son a month to train. By then it couldn't plow, it would be sold. However, this horse was extremely temperamental and didn't even allow Bert to come near. Bert could only approach it slowly with his back turned, without facing the horse directly. It finally lowered its guard against Bert. He named the horse Joy and then took it to the mountain for formal training. He asked Joy to stay in place. Surprisingly, the horse was incredibly talented. It learned to stay put after only 2 practices. Bert whistled from a distance, signaling him to come over, but Joy didn't understand Bert's intention. He returned to Joy's side and gently conveyed his message, then ran to a distance and whistled again. This time Joy seemed to understand and turned to run towards Bert. Such an intelligent horse is truly rare in this world. From then on, no matter where Bert blew the whistle, Joy would always run to him. Even if Bert hid in a tree, Joy could still find his location. Unfortunately, good times don't last long. The father's arch-rival was their landlord, who came to collect the land rent. Bert's family didn't have enough money to pay. Unwilling to bow to the arch-rival, the father promised to cultivate a piece of wasteland with Joy and give all the crops to the landlord. The landlord, still resentful about the previous bidding incident, set a deadline. If the wasteland wasn't planted by October, he would take their house and the horse. The humiliated father went to the stable to forcefully harness Joy, but it was too early for Joy to plow. In resistance, Joy knocked the father to the ground. The father lost his temper, pulled out a shotgun to shoot Joy. Bert quickly intervened, but was pushed away by his father. The mother also came to stop him. Seeing the father's determination, Bert had to block the gun with his body. After his pleading, the father slowly regained his sanity and agreed to let Bert try again in the stable. Bert first put the harness on himself, then slowly approached Joy. Joy seemed to understand Bert's intention and gently wore the harness. Then Bert took him to a piece of wasteland, but no matter how Bert commanded, Joy remained motionless. The landlord came to mock his overestimation. In desperation, Bert whipped Joy. Pained Joy dragged Bert to the fence. As more neighbors gathered to watch, the mother felt so ashamed. She hid in the room knitting sweaters to escape it all. The plow dragged on, and after hours nothing changed. Soon the heavy rain dispersed the crowd, but brought new hope to Bert. The rain-soaked soil gradually softened, a great opportunity to cultivate the wasteland. He went forward to convey the message to Joy. The fate of the whole family depended on Joy. With Bert's command, the plow buried into the soil like hope. With hope comes strength. They worked harder in the rain. Even when facing hard rocks, Joy could split them in two. The neighbors returned upon hearing the noise to witness the miracle horse. Only the landlord was displeased, sneering at Bert's mother, saying poor people let their sons work in the rain. Hearing this, the mother lost her usual gentleness and cursed the landlord outright. Eventually, the landlord fled in humiliation. Watching Bert and Joy cultivate the land together, pride appeared in the father's eyes. Until the rain stopped and the sky cleared, Bert was already sitting on the ground, unable to stand, and his back was also rubbed raw. The mother offered him a strong drink to ease the pain, but Bert resolutely refused. Because his father was a long-term alcoholic, he never saw his father sober since he was a child. The mother didn't argue, just silently brought out a package. It turned out the father was once an officer in the cavalry, but he hated the war, yet had to fight for his country, so he could only use alcohol to escape those memories. At this moment, Bert truly understood his father. He vowed to be his father's pride and to restore the glory of the cavalry, so he started to train Joy's speed every day, until Joy ran faster than a car, which delighted the girls in the car. But Joy was not a warhorse after all. He hadn't learned how to brake, so Bert often suffered minor injuries. After some time, a torrential rain disrupted this balance. The carrots in the field were all ruined. To fulfill the promise to pay rent in October, the father had to sell Joy, finally selling him to an officer for £30. When Bert arrived at the market, the deal was already done. Bert pleaded with the officer not to take Joy away, or he was willing to go to the battlefield with Joy. Bert was not yet 18 and couldn't join the army according to the rules. The officer said regretfully, £30 definitely couldn't buy this horse, so he considered Joy rented. Joy could return alive from the battlefield. He would personally bring him back to Bert. Bert could only reluctantly agree. Thus man and horse were separated. Before Joy left for war, Bert left the flag from his father's cavalry days with Joy and made a promise in its ear. No matter where you are, I will find you in the future and bring you home. After saying this, Joy was taken away, and its legendary story officially began from this moment.